Hello, 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 and welcome to the Hildebrand Law Firm topic for today. I am Matt Kaplan,
I am attorney Derek Darren.
and as you can see, still no Kirsten. We've been looking for her for years. We can't find her. She's totally gone missing. We checked all of Door County. We checked all of Mequon. We checked, the normal spots where she'd be: Las Vegas, Ibiza, just all the party spots in the world, and we can't seem to find her. So hopefully she shows up soon. If not, Derek, you're the partner, so it's all on you. I vote for a 4-day work week.
Yeah, approved.
Okay, perfect. So in this video, we are going to finish our conversation from last time talking about the way that accounts are titled or the way that assets are titled and how everything is affected in probate if you don't have a trust. And so in the last video, we talked about some accounts. We mentioned convenience accounts. We mentioned payable on death. We mentioned designated beneficiaries. In this video, I want to talk about the thing that is the biggest asset for most people, which is their home. So, Derek, one thing that I hear a lot from people is, I don't need a trust. I have a transfer on death deed of my home to my 3 kids, to my 2 kids, whatever. Um, Obviously, you've heard this before. What are some of the things to consider with that, especially with regards to a probate?
Yeah, so a transfer on death deed will avoid probate if it is successful. And that's where we go back to the joke I said in part one of this video, where if it is something that works 40 or 50% of the time for folks, some of those people it will work for, but why on earth would you ever pick something that only works 40 or 50% of the time? So some of those pitfalls, again, apply with regard to what I said about bank accounts in the last video. If one of your payable on death beneficiaries, or excuse me, your transfer on death beneficiaries has passed away, especially in the case of a deed or a transfer on death deed, if their middle initial isn't on the document, and so there's questions about whether they meant John H. Smith or John T. Smith. Unlike banks, transfer on death deeds do not have any sort of additional security attached to them. So certainly there can be ambiguity with regard to who's expected to actually get this property. The other issue, of course, with transfer on death deeds, and 2 more issues that pop into mind: Medicaid. Medicaid will still go back and intercept your house if you are on Medicaid and your house had a transfer on death deed after 2014. So a lot of times you will see people put in a transfer on death deed, try to skip the sort of Medicaid qualifying trust that we put together here. And obviously they find out the hard way later on that, oh, actually the state can still go and put a lien on your property to require that it be sold in order to pay off a Medicaid debt. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, and again, a lot of time with those transfer on death deeds, the same as the payable on death deeds, if somebody owes somebody a bunch of money, that can be intercepted as well. And especially if it's not a primary homestead that has certain protections in debtor and creditor collections law, that can be basically forced to be sold as well based on one of the kids having a significant debt. So a lot of times you see payable on deaths cause those issues for people who are, use the word spendthrifts, but anybody can be put into debt for something that happened to them, or something unfortunate that happened in their lifetime.
So if one of the kids has a debt that maybe the parents don't even know about, then upon their passing, that property, oh yeah, because you'll file a judgment, you'll docket it in whatever county it is, and then if they acquire any property in that county, that'll flag, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then they'll have a judgment against them, and then once they attain any property in that county, they won't get title until they clear whatever lien, right?
Yeah, they'll get title, but unfortunately, you won't be able to do anything with the property until the lien is sold.
Okay.
A creditor who's really paying attention can actually go out and see that a transfer on death deed has been recorded to you. And once that deed is transferred to you as their debtor, they can actually issue what's called a writ of execution through the courts to just force your property to be sold and used to pay off the debts that you owe to that creditor. So a lot of times you see mom and dad's home that they lived in for 20, 30 years get taken by a creditor who files that writ of execution. And again, if the kids who are receiving the property aren't living there, it does not get any sort of homestead protection or anything along those lines.
That is really interesting to me because I mean I'm sure clients tell you this too. Oh, I have my stuff transferred on death. Everything's going to be fine. It appears as though that's not always the case, right?
Oh, exactly. And especially if you only have one transfer on death heir who predeceases you. And I've
Okay.
unfortunately seen that as well, where if you have a transfer on death or a payable on death on any accounts, uh, if that beneficiary predeceases you, then you're back into the probate realm. You have no choice but to go through probate. And in that case, hopefully you have a properly executed will at a minimum to designate what property you want to go to, which heirs of yours are remaining.
Oh, sure. So you wanted to, let's say you wanted to go to your three kids. Kid number two predeceases you. And so if you don't have anything, any contingent in place, does it just go to kid number two's estate?
Yeah, most likely.
So
Yeah.
then let's say if all kid number two had was a spouse when he passed away, then you have to open up a probate on kid number two's life.
It's possible. Yeah,
Okay.
there are requirements. Again, just like anything else, that the person survive you. But again, those rules change frequently. And
Okay.
at a minimum, yeah, you certainly could be in danger of having that property, having a probate be opened for that beneficiary in order to transfer their 1/3 share or whatever it is.
Okay. So, long story short, it seems like with most people's biggest asset, which is their house or whatever property they have, um, this, in your opinion, it doesn't seem like this is something you should put up to chance, right?
No,
Okay.
no, absolutely not. And especially with your property, the benefits of a trust are so massive in terms of avoiding, first of all, avoiding probate, obviously, is number one. Number two is typically a trust will have some direction from the parents. And I saw this last week, actually. Someone came in and had direction in their trust that said, I want to keep this property. Please leave it in my trust as long as possible. I've provided for essentially maintenance and in my trust, and here's where you can find that money to maintain the property. But certainly, the trust offers you the most security. Most trusts, or I should say, many trusts, also offer adequate protection from Medicaid as well. But certainly, yeah, when it's your biggest asset, I would never leave that to chance.
Yep. I agree. And, here at Hildebrand Law Firm, we love big assets and we cannot lie. So we want to make sure everything is protected. So I appreciate that, Derek. You are officially dismissed from doing videos unless you actually kind of enjoyed this and you want to do some more in the future. We'd love to have you. Hopefully, we find Kirsten between now and the next time. If we don't, then it will be okay. I'm sure. No, we need our fearless leader. We need her. So if you have any questions about probate, please leave it in the comments. Also, if you have an opinion about my beard, the reason I say this is because my mom just watched a video and she does not like my beard. So if you like it, please leave it in the comments so I can tell my mom that I'm going to keep it because my clients tend to like it. They
I'm gonna
think,
leave that comment right
yeah,
now. I
please
really
do
like
so.
it.
Derek's beard is not going anywhere. I don't think he'll ever shave it. When was the last time you shaved? Clean shaved.
Years.
When was the last Olympics?
Yeah, there you go.
So make sure to comment. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked what we have to offer. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and share a video like this with your friends and maybe anyone who has an opinion about probate that is wrong. So we are always here at Hildebrand Law Firm, here to protect your today and your tomorrow. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time.